Hi guys, so in this video I want to share with you how to use the when and where ads showed option within Google Ads. So you might have noticed that Google has recently revamped a few of its menus, and now on the left hand side, if you're using the old interface, you can see something called Insights and Reports, and if you click on that, it's got an option in there called when and where ads showed. Now, a lot of people don't use it because they're not familiar with it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce you to it, and I'm going to show you each of the options and what you can do to help your Google Ads account be more profitable. Now, it is an option that a lot of people ignore simply because they don't know what it is. So make sure you do watch this video and watch till the end, because I am going to share with you some golden nuggets. Please, you know the ropes. Before I do continue, subscribe to this channel and like it, and at the end of it, if you've got any questions, do ask me in the comments below. My name is Ajay Dhunna. I'm a Google Ads expert. Let's jump straight into it. So on the left hand side here, you can see an option called Insights and Reports, and if you click on that, you'll see this option here saying when and where ads showed. So if you click on that now, what it does is exactly that. It shows you when your ads were shown and where your ads were shown. Now, the first things first, what you need to make sure is you've got a reasonable date period. Now, okay, you've got 30 days, so I've set this 30 days at the moment, but I like to, if I'm making major decisions, I like to work on at least a 3 month window at least. So I'm going to cover January, February, and March. So it gives me a reasonable date period, and it's not too long, so the data is not overly skewed. And the other thing to do is to select a campaign. So I want to select a campaign. So it's really best done campaign by campaign level. So I've selected a campaign here, and what it does, you can filter these by days, because normally it's I think the default is by hours, but it gives you these random hours. So if I just sort it by days, you can start seeing, okay, on Saturdays, for example, it's got all these hour breakdowns from midnight to 1 a.m., 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., and so on. And then it shows you how many clicks it's getting, impressions, click-through rates, and so on. But obviously, the most important metric for me is the number of conversions, and more importantly, the cost per conversion. So I look at these metrics, and if you see something, for example, like over here, you can see that your cost per conversion is in the region of £43, and even worse over here, it's £54. So you can then start analyzing this, saying, well, between 3 and 4 p.m., why is my cost per conversion so low, even though I've got a conversion? My cost per conversion so high, even though I've got a conversion here. My click-through rate is really decent, and it's cost me £54, but I got one conversion, and it's cost me a lot of money. So what you can do then is you can start making decisions as to what you want to do about it. But before you do, you can start looking at other days as well. So you can scroll down, you can see how your Friday's performing, your Thursdays, and so on. So this is a great way of seeing how your account is performing day by day, and also hour by hour. And you can actually filter it as well. So if I click on filter here, I can click on performance, for example, and if I want to add any other columns into it, I can do that, or likewise with cost per conversion and so on. So if I want to select a certain type of metric that I'm looking at, just use the filters option to actually really home in into the data that you're trying to look at. And it's a lengthy process. It's nothing that you can just do very quickly. So just make sure you do take your time on this. If you did want to adjust your hours, so if you did want to, for example, say that, hey, on a Saturday between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m., you can simply go to add schedule option here, shown under locations, and you can set your ad scheduling. So over here, this is ad scheduling, and then you can click on this option here, and then you can select your days, whatever day it is. So in this case, Saturday, and then I can add into here, for example, let me just do it right now, but I want to save it. So I can say 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. I can do this, and I click on save. sorry, I will delete it anyway. And then what I can do, I can put a bid adjustment on it. So I can say put a negative bid adjustment of, like, for example, 50 pence, and I can save that. So that means that between this hour, right, my cost per click will go from £10 to £5 as an example. Okay, so it's really worth carrying out this exercise to make sure that your ads are appearing on the days that you're getting conversions and the hours that you're getting conversions, and also at a reasonable cost per conversion as well. Okay, and likewise you can do the opposite. If you're getting more conversions, you can increase the bids there. So let's get back into it again. So I'm going to click on Insights and When and Where. So that's the default option. This is displayed there. So before I do move on, you can also separate it. So if you didn't want to see the day and hours, you can say, okay, I just want to see the days, and it really does summarize it then. So now what you're looking at is, you're not looking at a longer list, you're looking at a shorter list, and it's still giving the same type of data. And in our case, it could be that, hey, the conversions are generally about even throughout all the days. And likewise, you can split it by, hey, I want to see the data purely by hours. Okay, so you've got the option there. So do play around with this. The other one is where ads showed. Now, by default, if you're using a search campaign, that won't appear, right? So what you need to be doing is you need to be looking at a campaign that has got display marketing in it in some shape or form. So in this case, I want to select a campaign, and I can now see where my ads are actually being shown, not just when, but where my ads are being shown, how much it's costing me. Like, for example, I've got 58 clicks here, and it's cost me £14. I've got no conversions. I can then start doing further analysis on this, and I can also take a look at these sites, right? So, like, for example, my ads appearing on this site here. So I can visit the site simply by, can I click on it? Yep, I can click on it, and I can take a look at the site, and I can see, is it relevant, or is it in line with my values, my business, and so on. And if I wanted to, I can simply click on here or click on here, and I can do an exclude from an ad group, or I can exclude it from a campaign. So it's really worthwhile taking your time on this to see exactly what's happening. You can also click, well, once you've selected it, it just gives you a bit more information. So I can see that, okay, because I selected this particular placement here, it gives me a bit more information, and I've got this graph to go with it as well. So now I'm just going to click on the back button, and again, scroll down the list as much as you want to, and make sure that your business, your ads are appearing where they should be appearing. And if there's any sites that you don't want your ads to be appearing on, especially mobile app, keep an eye on these, right? Because there's a lot of these which appear. Google does tend to push these out quite a lot. I tend to make these into negative because I do not want my ads to be shown on mobile apps. So I really do start to exclude these as much as possible. So that's another tip for you. Again, so what you can do now is, so before I do continue again, if you wanted to, you can add extra metrics in. So you can click on here, and you can add another metric in. So if I wanted to add conversions in, and now I can see the conversion. So I can see that from some of my placements, I am getting conversions. And now it's up to you to home in, drill down these, sort your columns how you want to, and then you can see which are the placements that you're getting conversions from. Okay, and you want to obviously keep those. Then you've got devices. Click on devices. And okay, so over here you can see that my ads are appearing on mobile devices, computers, tablets, and TV screens. For me, a TV screen, I've never seen any conversions unless I want to do a lot of branding type of work, right? So I just want to see people to see my ad. So I normally start decreasing this. So you can click on here, and you can do a decrease bid adjustment. So I can say, hey, I want to be 90% decreased when it comes to TVs. Likewise with tablets, I always find that conversions are always low on tablets. So you can actually, and you can see how much you've spent. Okay, I haven't spent a lot on it, but hey, I can just say, click on here, and I can say decrease. And again, I don't want my ads to be appearing on mobile, so I'm going to decrease them by 90%. And likewise, if you're seeing over here that, hey, a lot of your conversions are coming from mobile, but you might be spending equal amount on computers, then you can do some bid adjustment around this area too. So this is really good for knowing what devices your ads are appearing on. So do keep an eye on this, because in this case, even though I've got just a very small spend, I've seen campaigns whereby there's an absolute huge spend on these. So you're just chewing up budget for absolutely no reason at all. Then you've got matched locations. And in matched locations, so let me go to a campaign. Okay, so I'll stick to this campaign. You've got, okay, so you've got your, in this case, I'm showing United Kingdom. But here's the key. What I can do, before I do click on it, it's giving you the basic metrics. And then what I can do, I can click on United Kingdom, and it allows me to break down where I want to see the ads, right? So I want to see by cities. So now it's showing me all the cities that my ads are appearing in. So it could be that, hey, there could be some cities here which you do not wish to target. And again, you can click on here, and you can play around with this, like counties, for example, and so on. So you can, sometimes what you see, especially if I did go into other campaigns, this list will be absolutely huge. Postcodes, I don't normally use that very often, but you can see this list is huge, and it's really allowing you to segment your data exactly where your ads are appearing and where they're not appearing. And what you can do, you can click on these options, and then you can click on exclude, so that, you know, if you don't want to exclude them, you can just, if you don't want your ads to appear in certain locations, you can simply do that. And a really useful feature is, again, sorting. So I can sort by cost or clicks and so on. So I can see where bulk of my expenditure is going, and then you can analyze whether that is something that you wish to do. But again, when looking at locations, do check your location settings in the settings option all the time, right? Because this is an absolute golden. So when you're looking at settings, make sure that not only are you targeting the right locations, if I click on here, but also you've got this option where it says location options. You've got that set to presence, people in or regularly in your targeted locations. Because if you don't set this, Google is going to show your ad to this audience here, which is presence or interest. People in, regularly in, or who've shown an interest in your targeted locations. And it says recommended. Take it with a pinch of salt. Google do talk a lot of BS. They do hide these options because they make money on you. So anyone who's shown an interest in your location, your ads will appear in those locations, even though your business will never be able to serve that location. So make sure you always choose this option. Guys, I hope you found this video useful. If you've got any questions for me, drop them in the comments below. And I'd love to hear from you. What did you think about this video? Have you ever used this feature? And how do you try to use this feature within your Google Ads campaign? Will you be using it? Do you have any more questions for me? I'd love to hear from you. Put a comment in the comments box below. And likewise, do subscribe to this channel. Do follow this channel so that when I do create similar content, you'll be the first to be notified. If you want me to create a video specifically on a specific topic, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And likewise, you may already be running a Google Ads campaign, and you may need help with your Google Ads campaign because it may not be performing, right? It could be that you're spending a lot of money, you're not getting your conversions, or your cost per conversion is too high, or your ROAS, your return on ad spend, is too high, or you've been told it's all optimized, but you just feel it's not well optimized. If you want a second pair of eyes, just get in touch with me. There'll be some links in the description area below. And I look forward to hearing from you, or I look forward to seeing you on another video. Goodbye for now.